What's poppin', people? It's your boy Skintasticman here to bring you another episode of the Top 3, where we look at 3 sports examples from a specific category. As a lifelong Redskins fan, I hate the Eagles as they are one of the Redskins' longest NFL rivals. Since I have been a Redskins fan, there have been some amazing games that the Redskins have played against those garbage Eagles. And while yes, the rivalry isn't where it used to be from back in the 80s and 90s, and while the Eagles currently have the Redskins number, don't forget who owns the Eagles with 86 wins, 80 losses, 8 ties, and 1 postseason win against those sorry ass Eagles. This is a list of my top 3 gratifying wins that the Redskins have had against the Philadelphia Eagles. But before we begin, what are your most gratifying wins against the Philadelphia Eagles? Or your biggest division rival? Tell us about it in the comment section below. And you know what? Let's just get into it. The first game we're going to talk about goes way back before a lot of you guys were even born. But for me, it was week 14 of the 88 season. The Redskins weren't having that great a season after winning Super Bowl 22. Doug Williams was also starting to decline, and the Redskins were only 6-7, playing the 8-5 Eagles. This was one of the first games I ever watched with my uncle, who's also a huge Redskins fan, and he hated the Eagles. The Redskins were playing like straight garbage in this game with future MVP Mark Rippon at quarterback, as he threw the ball for 123 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions in the first half against a really good defense. So the Redskins went back to what made them successful in former Super Bowl MVP Doug Williams, as he threw the ball for over 200 yards and 1 touchdown. Ironically, because of this, the Eagles, who had a 19-10 lead, started to sputter after Randall Cunningham threw a costly interception to Alvin Walton, which put the Redskins in position to score a Terry Orr touchdown from a pass by Williams, closing the gap to 19-17. At this point, my uncle had stopped throwing crap at the TV and stopped cursing the Skins because they weren't throwing any interceptions and they weren't botching any field goals anymore. After an Eagles punt, Doug Williams showed why he was a Super Bowl MVP by leading the Redskins down the field for a game-winning field goal. With 9 seconds on the clock and on 3rd down, the Redskins were going to attempt a field goal, but at the same time, they weren't. Joe Gibbs was actually planning on a fake field goal because of the wind. The fake field goal was a failure, but luckily, place kick holder Greg Coleman threw the ball into the ground with 6 seconds left, and luckily it was 4th down. So kicker Chip Lohmiller attempted a 44-yard field goal into the wind, and it was good. The Redskins would take a 2019 lead with 1 second left and would squeak out a win in the end. While I was happy the Redskins won, I was a bit happier that my uncle started throwing crap at the television. The next game we're going to talk about was more recent, the game between Eagles and Redskins on January 1st, 2006. The Eagles were absolute garbage that season, coming in with a 6-9 record after losing Donovan McNabb. The Redskins were 10-5, needing 1 more win to get into the playoffs for the first time since '99. Like the previous game we talked about, the Redskins trailed 17-7 in the second quarter after Mike McMahon completed 2 touchdowns to rookie wide receiver Reggie Brown. However, the Redskins were able to roar back as Clinton Portis would score 2 touchdowns, one 2-yarder and another would be a 22-yarder, to give the Redskins a 24-20 lead. Redskins quarterback Mark Brunell didn't play very well, only completing 9 of 21 passes, but he did connect deep to Santana Moss, which led to a Clinton Portis touchdown. Not to worry at all. The Redskins were mostly a running team back then, so it's all good. However, late in the 4th quarter, the Eagles mounted a comeback with 3rd-string quarterback Coy Detmer. The Eagles were at the 35-yard line when defensive end Philip Daniels knocked the ball out of Detmer's hands, and 2nd-year safety Sean Taylor would pick it up and run 39 yards the other way, jumping into the end zone for a touchdown. The game would end with the Redskins winning 31-20, effectively sweeping the Eagles into the basement where they belonged. The Redskins would go on to beat the Buccaneers that season in the playoffs, but would lose to the eventual NFC champion Seahawks in Seattle. I also don't want to neglect the name Sean Taylor, who probably would have been the greatest and hardest hitting safety in the league if he didn't tragically lose his life by getting shot protecting his family. May he rest in peace. The final game we'll be discussing is a game that happened in Week 11 of the 2012 season on November 18th at FedEx Field. This was the year that the Redskins traded up with the Rams and grabbed RG3, and both teams were sitting there with a disgusting record of 3-6. Michael Vick started out the season as their starting quarterback, but the week before he suffered a concussion against Dallas, so the Eagles had to use 3rd-round rookie Nick Foles. His second pass of the game was intercepted by D'Angelo Hall, which was returned 22 yards to set up a Darrell Young touchdown catch by RG3. The Eagles played like straight trash, scoring 6 points. but they could thank their kicker for that. RG3 scored most of the Redskins' points, which was 4 touchdowns. He threw for over 200 yards and also ran for 84 more yards. The best play of the game was a pass he threw to Santana Moss for 61 yards downfield. There were defensive backs all over him, but he still caught the ball and ran it in for the touchdown. This game started a winning streak that would eventually get the Redskins to a 10-6 record and a division title. As for Philly, they only won one more game and would find themselves firing longtime head coach Andy Reid. As well as that, you know what? They found themselves exactly where they belonged, in the basement. The Redskins also swept the Eagles that season, which is always a great thing. See, the Eagles have these freaky games with names like the Body Bag Game and the Monday Night Massacre, which are very embarrassing games for Redskins fans. But we never forget them when it comes time to beat those garbage-ass Eagles. See, the problem I'm having with this whole RG3 situation is that after his rookie year, he started to fizzle out. And Nick Foles, our 3rd round quarterback, wins the Eagles their first ring. Garbage! Thank you for watching another episode of the Top 3. If you have a favorite win your squad had against the Eagles or another heated rival, please talk about it in the comment section below. Also, if you have another Top 3 category you want to see, don't be shy, bruh. Write it in the comment section as well. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day. And one more thing. Hail to the Redskins.